Good morning. It's Saturday, November 15th, and we are in the home stretch, the last week before the end of T1, and I have just a couple things that I need to share with you, mostly how to enter comments. Before I go into that, I just want to thank you so much. This year's a huge learning curve for me, so your help with your grade books that looked awesome this morning is greatly appreciated. I did go into each of your grade books and just double check the things that I know I have to be looking for. I'm sure this week I'm going to learn many more things that I need to check, so thank you for your patience and thank you so much for keeping such great meticulous records. I'm very grateful. So the last thing we need to do and focus on this week, as I went through everyone's grade book, this is the only thing we have left, and that's comments. And so I want to share with you how to do that. I shared with everyone this morning on your Google Drive the comments. So you'll see, I believe it's called PowerSchool Comment Codes 20, anyway, it's up in your drive as of this morning. What you'll notice is it's a PDF and it lists all 475 comments. They are categorized by subject matter and then broad categories like curriculum, general, improvement. And at the end, there are some for homework and classwork. So I know several of you do a QOD, like a question of the day, as your morning work. These might be applicable for you. So they're stratified via subject matter and then also broad groupings, curricularly oriented, like curriculum general. So I'm going to demonstrate for you this morning how to enter a comment code. I'm going to use, let me get down to reading and the literature. I'm going to go into the 6th grade book and enter one for reading and literature. And I'm going to use this one right here called comment number 162 in reading and literature, comprehends written material. So what I need to do is head into my grade book. I have to make sure that I'm in Power Teacher. I can't do this from the app. I know a couple of you are using iPad and Android apps. You must use this on a computer. I have to launch my grade book, and you have to make sure that you do this like a whole new session going in order to enter comment codes. So once we get in here, very awkward long pause waiting for Power Teacher to upload. As soon as it uploads, so come on, there we go. And we're running, sort of. I'm going to go into, you have to go into a class. You don't enter comment codes for attendance. I'm going to go into a class of mine. So this is 6th grade, this is their reading and literature, and I selected, if you recall, is comment code number 162. In order to enter the comment, I'm going to go underneath of this final score area and I'm going to right click. I'll have the option to fill scores or show the score inspector. I want to show the score inspector and then select comment. When I'm in comment, it populates and allows for all of the comments to be entered. Once I'm in here, I'm going to select the number that I identified was I needed to use for this student. Then I double click over top of it and the comment will appear down here in the comment box. So this is a comment that I'm applying. Once I add this comment, once it's transferred from here down to this block, it is affixed to that student. And I can use these arrows up and down to move through to the next student. I'm going to close this for just a second to show you the difference of how I can tell that the comment has been entered. So I just entered one comment only for Uya, and you'll notice over here this C, the blue C, tells me that I have entered the comment. Let me try and highlight that one more time. So one moment, let me get down here. Oh. So the blue C tells me that I've entered a comment for Uya. I can again, when I'm inside of that comment box, I go to Show Score Inspector. I go to Comments. Once I'm here, I can use these arrows to go up and down and toggle through all of the students in one grade section. Now, I'll share with you, I have each class for reading, so that's 6, 7, 8. Each class for English, 6, 7, 8. So reading is reading comprehension, oral reading. English is grammar and writing. And then vocabulary is content and application. If I go to my, how am I going to get there without cutting this off? Let me see if I can get down here. If I head to my, let me open up my, these are my the comments again. You'll notice how they're varied. So I have some for reading literature, I have some for phonics, some for language arts, and they identify each of the different standards that you're attaching to those separate grades. So we have to enter 2. If we have a negative comment, it needs to have, of course, a positive comment connected to it or just after it. So if we have something that we need to add that needs to be improvement, or it's really, we can't hardly say much more than she has nice colored shoelaces, we need to make sure that we add a positive. If we have a negative, we need to add an additional positive. So what I have done in the past, I shared this with a couple of you because when I was teaching first grade, I had very task orientations that of course were scaffolded like all of us across the grades, but certain things that needed to be addressed in T1, others that needed to be addressed in T2, and then some that couldn't be addressed until T3. So I just made 3 columns on the side here, and I had some favorites, favorite comments that I knew. For example, under social studies, there's something about map reading. Well, we read maps in T1. So that set us up to be able to understand different elements of geography in T2. So I just set up and labeled them on this sheet as T1 comments, T2 comments, T3 comments, after I really understood the curriculum, what I needed to have done. So that might be something that you'd like to do. And a way that you can do that is to go into your comments, into your comment bank, and when you're here, you can identify and select it as a favorite. And so then they will populate for you and allow you to easily access them. So that's it for comments. What we do have to do is enter at least 2 comments for every student in every subject. So I'd recommend getting on it today. Make sure if you could, make sure that it's done by like Wednesday afternoon, Thursday morning. That will give us plenty of time to fix anything that we need by Friday at 3 o'clock. And if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to ask. Again, thanks so much for all of your help. I think we're, knock on wood, I'm a little afraid to say it, but I think we might be okay on Friday. Let's hold our breath and say lots of prayers. Have a great weekend.